going on? What is going on, people? What is going on? Good morning. I'm Brother Clarence, obviously from the Let's Talk the Better Black Life podcast. And you see the description, Turning the Other YouTube Cheek. Why, Brother Clarence, why are you making this? Why are you making this live stream? I was on a live stream. Let me even put that in the description. Turning the other YouTube cheek. Yeah, why, Brother Clarence? Why are you making this? Why are you making this live stream? I was on a live stream last night, and brother, Be Easy, that dude. What's up, Be Easy? I was on a live stream last night. Good to see you, man. Hope everything's been good for you, brother. Be Easy. I know you've been out there, handling your business in your real life. So good to see you again, brother. Anyway, let me talk about this live stream. I was on a live stream last night, and a brother was a little less than respectful to me in that space. Now, I had an option. I could have went to the brother and confronted him, or I could have thank you, Brother B Easy. Appreciate you, man. It's always good to get good tidings from people that really mean it, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. So I'm on this live stream, man, and I wasn't gonna talk about it, but it's bothering me too much. You know how something bother you too much, man. You just can't. I can't let it alone. So I'm on this live stream with this brother, and it was a little less than respectful. And Friendsgiving, good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything is ecstatic and beautiful in your real life and in these YouTube streets. Good to see you. Hey, Brother Clarence. Good to see you. Good to see you too, sis. Anyway, so I was on this live stream, and young man was very I wouldn't say he was very disrespectful, but he was definitely less than respectful. But I had but here's the thing. I had the option of confronting that situation or letting it roll. So what I decided to do at the time was to let it roll, and I'll tell you why in a little while. But anyway, so the brother was he got on the program, and what his objective on the program, well, he came headhunting for me. First of all, he came headhunting for me, and then I had to stop the brother and tell him, no, I didn't. You heard me wrong. I didn't say this, because he tried to quote me and he misquoted me, and then I said, no, that's not what I said. And then I said, that's not what I said. So I restated what I said. So that was mistake one. Then the second mistake was he was trying to, he was, because he already came in with the idea that he was going to rescue the host and the guest and one of the guests. And me, I was, the spear chucker coming in to get at them. But we were actually having a really nice conversation on the panel. So anyway, but in his mind, he was already gunning for me already. So when I took that away from him, then he decided to replace that argument with something else that was another manufactured situation. So I let it flow. I let it go. I didn't say nothing. Sometimes there's more power in being quiet than speaking, as Joseph Stalin demonstrated on many occasions. And not to say that Stalin was a good guy. He wasn't a good guy at all, but definitely it was very powerful. And but most of his power came from listening a lot more than talking. So I was just listening, and I was just letting the brother talk. So the brother was speaking, and in my mind, I'm saying to myself, "Hey, this dude is." I was what you call YouTube roadkill. He was wiping his feet on me to give honor and praise to the guest and to the host and the guest. I didn't realize it at first, but after I started listening to him more, I was like, what's going on here? I see what's going on here. Now, all of this was playing out. I was like, man, this is so. Then on top of creating a situation where we were at odds, we weren't even at odds anymore. Now this brother created a situation where we were at odds. I never responded to nothing he said because he never spoke directly to me. But at the same time, I want all of us to recognize that's out here in these YouTube streets. You can be on a panel. You can come up on a panel and somebody can come in and, what's up, Brother D? Good to see you in the building, man. Good to see you in the building, man. Brother, be easy. Doesn't matter if Stalin was good or evil. You learn an abundance of knowledge from him and others like him. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't want to say, oh, you saying Stalin was a good guy? No, I'm not saying he was a good guy. What I'm saying, he was powerful. He was able to control the lives of millions of people, millions and millions of people, because he just didn't speak that much. He didn't talk a lot. He listened a lot more than he spoke. So that's how he was able to control a lot of things. What was the topic of the show? I think the show was, I don't want to give it away, but I think the show, we were talking about April Mason. We were talking about April Mason and what was going on with her. And, but I just want you guys to know that you guys, don't be so quick to, react. When people talk and they say stuff and they're not making sense, or they're not, they coming in, they already came in with headhunting for you. Don't be so quick to respond and react. Give it a minute to kind of let the dust settle so that after it all you can see. Because after all, this is just YouTube. It'd be a different thing if the person is standing in front of you and they throw a punch and you have to move, or you have to, but they're not, they're throwing verbal punches at you. You don't have to move as fast and you can come back. Brother, be easy. The quieter you become, the more you're able to hear. This is true. And that's how you get more information so that you can know how to respond correctly and have the most leverage in what you're doing. If you talk too much, talking too much has killed so many different deals, right? Most of us have talked our way away from a good woman. We've talked ourselves out of a good job. We've talked ourselves out of business relationships. We've talked too much. So we got to learn how to keep our mouths shut and not say, a lot just off of the impulse of, I got to say this. No, we got to learn how to do that. Brother, be easy. They came in hot. Yeah, brother came in hot, man. I mean, he was looking for me. You know what I mean? And I'm used to that, Brother Beezy. I'm used to that because when I go on, I think so much differently than most people that I already know when they coming in and they say to me, I got to push back on this, brother. I already know. But they can't push back because it's not me you pushing back on. It's the truth. It's the facts. See, like we say, we hear, like you said, not you, but was it you? It might have been you that said, called us the truth area. We just deal with truth. I just deal with facts, actual facts. I don't cut out my, I may put my opinion on top of the facts, but that's the facts. So when I was discussing what I was discussing over there, it was just facts. So to come back at me, because the numbers, that's like me saying the sun is out and the brother said, no, it's raining. You can say what you want, but the fact is the sun is out there. So you're the one that's going to look crazy going against the reality of the situation. Brother, be easy. Say nothing is actually saying something. You know what it is smart leaders, they let the other person talk. Because if you let the other person talk long enough, they'll show you their hand. At first, people will talk and they try to cover their hand. But if they keep on talking, you keep on talking. I just let people talk and talk and talk. This is the most I talk is when I'm here on my page. I do a lot of talking on my page. You see me on other YouTube other streams, I don't usually talk that much. You know, I used to go on the lead attorney. That's my dude. I used to go on the lead attorney and sit there for 2 hours, get on there, and I say, yeah, this is what I think about that. And they go, thanks. Well, thank you for coming by. Boop. And you like, damn, I sat here for 2.5, 3 hours to do that. So I don't do that no more. If their show is so big, I don't try to get on their program. Brother, be easy. You learn more by listening over talking. Smart people do, brother, be easy. Smart people do. The truth chamber. You're right, brother, be easy. You're right. The truth chamber. Absolutely. Yeah, that was me. You forgot already. I'm old, brother, be easy. You gotta give me some, give your brother some grace, man. Give your brother some grace, man. You're right, man. It is the truth chamber, man. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you too for that, man. Yeah, Sister Don had to remind me of that a while back, man. But anyway, so I'm talking to y'all about the live stream. So I'm on the live stream. Brother's like gunning at me, man. Brother was gunning at me, and so I was like, okay. So like I said, I pulled the gas out of his first argument. So he had to recreate something else. Then the next thing he did was he did an ode to the person who to the host of the live stream and to one of the guests. He did this big thing about how they are beautiful people. And I already knew that. We all knew that already. But he went into this thing like, I'm protecting them from a guy like you, right? Not knowing see, that's the thing, man. Sometimes, thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Somehow I knew I would get it from you. I knew I would get that grace from you, brother. Be easy. Appreciate you, man. So the brother was on it, man. And so I was like, man, well, he got that upset at me for correcting him about something I said. Now you're going to make a whole new argument, which was unnecessary in my opinion. But I'm going to tell y'all, I let it go. Now, Brother Clarence, why did you let something like that go? Normally, I wouldn't have attacked the brother, but I definitely would have straightened him out. Why did I let that go? Sometimes you got to look at the value of your situation, right? Is it worth it? You got to do a risk analysis, or not even risk analysis, but a value analysis. Is it worth it? Would it have been worth it for me to go in, boom, and blast the whole situation? I'm on somebody else's platform. I'm doing their, I'm a guest there. I really dig that person that was actually the host of the program. Thought that person was a good person. I don't rock with people that I don't think they're good people. I try not to, right? Okay, so I thought all these. So and then the person that actually said that was going in on me, I understand that person had a tragedy recently. So I tried to I factored all that in to my decision on whether I was going to confront them or not, and I ended up not confronting them. But you know what I'm saying? I live to fight another day. But the whole point is, y'all, I didn't go, ape crazy, saying, oh man, I didn't do all that. Because I was on somebody else's program. You know what I mean? I didn't want to wear out my welcome there. But that, it's just because I have respect for the person that was actually running the broadcast. I had a lot of respect for that person. So I didn't want to, and everybody on the panel, also all the other people on the panel. This person came out of nowhere, just like, I'm gonna get that Negro. I'm gonna get him. Right? And I don't mind that, because I don't take it personally, because I know I've only told you the truth. So if you coming after me, then you coming after the truth. So why would you come after me, right? Why would you come after the truth? If what I said was the truth, then that you should look at yourself if you want to argue with the truth. You find somebody that wants to argue with the truth, man, you got a real person that needs some us good sitting down talking to, if they're gonna argue with the truth. And it's so anyway, I let it go. So after I got off the broadcast, I sat back and I watched it again. And I said, the first thing I did was say to myself, maybe it's me. That's another thing that good leaders do. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one that's overreacted. So I watched it again. And I said, maybe it's me. When I looked at it the second time, I said, it ain't me. It ain't me. The person just was in a space where they wasn't looking at. They didn't know who they. Sometimes we can talk to somebody and we don't know who we talking to, right? We can be in a space where we can say, hey, you know what? I'm talking to somebody, and I'm talking to them like they are, what they call that? There's a show called Undercover Boss, right? And you talking to the boss, the person that owns the whole business, and they dress that person up to look like one of the regular workers, and you talking to him, and then you don't even know that you are putting yourself out there and making yourself look like an idiot, right? There's a book called The 48 Laws of Power. I'm always referencing this book because I like the book. I like the book. I like some of the way it's structured to try to teach people how to behave in a way to move where you can get the most out of your being successful as you can possibly be, but yet understand that other people are going to play a part in it. Other people, you're going to have to deal with other people to reach success, right? So you're going to have to learn how to maneuver around different types of people. That's why I like that book. So anyway, the book, one of the laws of the book is always know who you're dealing with. Always know who you're dealing with. Don't offend the wrong person. Do not offend the wrong person. See, sometimes we don't know who we're dealing with, man. Brother, be easy. What'd you say? The fourth law of power, always say less than necessary. There you go, brother. There you go. There you go. Yeah, you don't need to say too much. See, we have all, like I said, we can all raise our hands. I done talked myself out of friendships. I done talked myself out of jobs. I done talked myself out of people wanting to help me. I done talked myself out of all kind of benefits. I have talked myself out of so many different things before I came to the realization that all that talking, people don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? You just sound stupid after a while, right? And then what most people do, and they don't even realize it, is they start repeating themselves. They start repeating themselves over and over and over and over and over again. And they just look like an idiot. And a person like me, I'm going to let you keep talking. You guys see me talking here because this is the most talking I do. I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't. If you get me on the phone, I'll probably be on the phone with you probably about 15 minutes max. I'm just not a talker to talk, to sit around to hear my voice. But some people are. Some people want to hear, and that was one of the issues with the brother. I felt that he's one of these kind of people that got to hear his own voice in his head. So he'll just keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, talking and talking, even if it don't make no sense, even if it's not hitting the point, even though it's not on the topic, You just keep talking and talking and talking. Why? Because I can. Who can stop me? Who's going to stop me? Right? There's a good book out there called the Epic of Gilgamesh. There's a good book out there called the Epic of Gilgamesh. It's not that big of a thick of a book. It's a very thin book, but it's a good book. It's set back in the stage. It's 4,000 years ago, right? And there was this king in the book there. I'm not going to give the whole book away, but there was this king in the book. He was the biggest, the tallest, the strongest, the best looking, the most desirable. He was everything that any man could want to be. He was it. He was the strongest. Nobody could stop him. So he decided, he started, instead of asking people for stuff, he started just taking it. He just started taking, he go to the market, he just started taking what he wanted, fruit, meat, whatever. He just started taking it. Because in his mind, he said to himself, who can stop me? There ain't no police. Nobody can stop me. I'm going to just do it. And he just started doing it. And then he got so comfortable doing that, he didn't even feel bad. It got so bad. This dude got so bad that when people started getting married, when people got married, this guy would be waiting at the house in the bedroom of the married couple's house, waiting to take the virginity of the wife. He would be there waiting to take it first before the husband. That's how bad the situation got. Right? That's how people can get so crazy. He got so crazy, he thought, man, I love me so much, they'll love me. Right? That's how this brother was talking last night, man. You know, he was like, I love my voice so much, they'll love my voice. Let me just keep on talking, right? We all know people like that. But I'm saying, brother, and thank you, Brother Be Easy, for bringing up that fourth law. You got to say less, especially when you're around people you don't know. When you're around people you don't know, that could be business contacts or some type of benefit. They may be able to present a benefit to you at a later date. Watch what you say. Or you could make an enemy for yourself. Now, I could have said a lot last night confronting this brother, but I didn't. I could have made an enemy for myself. He already came in as an enemy to me. But you know, I let the situation kind of die down by itself. You know what I mean? I kind of let the situation the dust kind of settle. But I'm not, like I said, what I'm trying to teach y'all is, because a lot of y'all are a lot younger than me. I want y'all to have the patience to, when you talking to people, man, not just on these YouTube streets, but others, to be able to try to stay as quiet. And you don't know this person, try to stay as quiet as you can. You know, you don't have no love for them. You know what I mean? You stay, just listen to them. Especially if they start going off the rails, like this brother did start. He didn't go way off the rails, but he went off the rails a little bit. So just you know, make sure you keep yourself, keep your wits about you. Don't lose your mind, and go get that book, The Epic of Gilgamesh. A very good book, very good book, very good book. Go get that book. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that being said, I want to address that situation because I want y'all to be able to turn the other cheek out here in these YouTube streets. Another thing I want to talk about is these YouTube beefs. We got YouTube beefs out here in the YouTube streets, and most of it is over either a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, or just people just being in their feelings about something that happens. We got to understand, most people that's here, I would say 99% of the people that's here are here because for business reasons. So when it comes to a point where it gets to they have to make a decision on friendship or business, most people are going to make a decision on business for the business. They're going to decide, hey, you know what? I know we was friends, but I came here to make money. That's why I came here. This opportunity has opened up for me. I'm going to go take it. Why shouldn't I? Right? Sometimes the other person ain't going to understand. What do you mean? We were supposed to be a group. It's like Sting left the group, the Police, right? Or better yet, Smokey Robinson left the Miracles. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes the business is going to call for that. Sister Friends Givens, sounds like you handle yourself well. Sis, I tried. I was very quiet. You know what? I'm one of those type of people. I'm not going to, once I see that you're unreasonable. Now, I may try to talk to you if I feel like you're reasonable. But when I see that you got a personality that's very unreasonable, you demonstrate that to me, I probably just will sit back and just let you speak, let you talk. Because what I'm doing is analyzing the way you think. And when I see the way you think and I see flaws in that logic, I just leave it alone. You know, why try to explain something to somebody that can't follow the logic that you're saying? Because they're so emotional. Like this person came in, you know, ready to go, right? They was looking to get to me. For whatever reason, I don't know what I had said, because I said a couple of different things that could have, you know, made him, you know, want to come in. But when he got there, his whole point was to come at me. When I had to stop him when he was going in, and in the beginning I had to stop him because he was misquoting me. So I said, "Wait a minute, hold on, brother. That's not what I said." So he really got upset over that, and then created a whole nother argument. So when I saw that take place, I said, "Okay, he had it for me anyway." You know what I mean? He wasn't here to have a discussion. He was here to come tell me, and I'm gonna tell you, and you listen to me. And as a matter of fact, that's how he was addressing me. You listen, don't you ever listen. And I was like, man, look, you don't know who you're talking to. I was going to say that, but I didn't say anything. He had a personal tragedy recently, so I said, let me let him do that. I said, I'll confront him because I'll see him down the road. We all pretty much come from the same lineage from TLA, Lapeef, or the mothership, or, you know, some other YouTuber that we all know. So we all pretty much have the same, we all usually hanging around the same streams. I've seen the brother out there a couple times. So I'm definitely going to run into him again. And I may confront it at that point, or depending on how he behaves at that point, maybe I'll just leave it alone. But yeah, I left it because, see, yes, I wanted to confront him, but I'm reasonable. I think, friends, given I'm reasonable, I think that, you know, if you have some type of tragedy happen, I'm not finna go in on you. You know what I mean? You know, which is what I really wanted to do, but I said no, I'm not, because you know I got a heart full of people that's got things happen. Things have happened to me, and if it wasn't for people having a heart for me, I wouldn't be here, right? So I said, okay, I understand, but I'm not gonna let it happen again. I won't let it happen again. You know me? You get that grace that one time, and that's gonna be that. Friends Evans. Maybe send him an email to handle it behind the scenes. It wasn't even that big. It wasn't that. I'm only talking about it to help y'all, because I know a lot of us go on live streams and we get caught by the blind side, by surprise. If I really wanted to handle it, I would. If I really, I would go to his page and let him know. But it ain't that serious. This is more of, I feel like, you know what, other people are probably going through this too. Let me suggest, and I see a lot of beefing, you know, because people misunderstand stuff or they take it the wrong way. So I said, well, let me put something out there to just tell people, hey man, you know what? It's all right to turn the other cheek sometimes. You know, you ain't got to be this hard old dude, you know, stomping through YouTube all the time and as soon as somebody say something to you, you got to go in and, you know, unleash havoc on them. That you don't have to do that every time. You know what I mean? Sometimes calls for that. Sometimes it calls for that. That situation last night, I had a decision to make. Either I was going to confront it, or I was going to turn the other cheek. I decided, based on my heart, I decided to turn the other cheek. You know, now the problem with here's the problem with turning the other cheek, y'all. Especially for brothers like us, be easy. Here's the problem. People can misinterpret that as weakness, right? They can misinterpret that and then decide, oh, like next time I might see the brother, he might go in a little deeper, right? He might say, well, I went in, I was talking to him crazy on the last episode. I mean, last time we got together. Let me go in even further and do further damage, because he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna stop me, right? Remember Gilgamesh, right? Who can stop me? None of these people can stop me. I'm unstoppable, right? But no, you are stoppable. I mean, I was just being gracious because I understand family had a tragedy. So I was trying to be gracious about that. But nevertheless, you may be in a situation where all of those things are but it'd be easy. Yes, they think you're docile. Yeah, especially us as men, right? Other men to see us letting somebody get it in like that, and they think, oh man, well, he must be soft because he let that dude get it off like that. No, not over here. I don't think nobody can be soft over here in this space. We're dealing with the truth. Friendsgiving. True, but you have to protect your peace. No need to go back and forth all the time. No, Friendsgiving. See, you're right. And it's especially, it's no need to go back and forth when you know you at a higher level than the other person, right? My father used to ask the question, who's the bigger fool? The fool talking or the fool arguing with the fool? Who's the bigger fool, right? I mean, the person arguing with the fool knows they arguing with a fool, yet they're arguing with this fool. And the fool is talking, don't know you're a fool. So I don't want to be either party. So I was just quiet. I just let the other person, going, there's some people that need to hear their own voice. You know what I mean? Their own voice makes them feel good, right? And most of us, we want to hear our own voice from time to time, right? Especially when our own voice is connected to our personal authority. And we want to hear our own voice because it calms us, lets us know that we are in control of something when we hear our own voice. Cool, I get that. I get that. The problem is you can't do that all the time. Everybody don't want to hear your voice, especially when you're sharing a platform with other people. You know what I mean? Especially you trying to get to know other people. But most people ain't trying to get to know nobody, man. They want to come in and say, I know this, I know it all. And that's kind of like how the attitude this person had. I know it all. Everybody listen to me. I am the, there used to be a show called The Lone Ranger, right? You guys ever heard of this show called The Lone Ranger? The Lone Ranger, excuse me, Lone, The Lone Ranger. It was a white man that rode a white horse and wore a white hat. And he had an Indian that was just in love with him for whatever reason. We still can't figure it out. But this Indian was in love with him, Native American that was in love with him. And the Native American's name was Tonto, right? And for whatever reason, I can't see no benefit here. He got out of it. He hung around with the Lone Ranger and took his orders and was his little underling, right? But so the Native American guy's name was Tonto. The Lone Ranger, what the Native American called the Lone Ranger, his name for him was Kimosabe. Kimosabe. And Kimosabe literally translates to know it all. He who knows it all. right? That's what the name Kemosabe means. So I call guys like that Kemosabe because they feel like they know it all. I'm this, I've been through this, I've been through this experience, I've been through that experience, and they want to shout out the experiences they've been through to show that they are somebody. They got to do all this to, I mean, it was a really silly situation last night, man. I was just sitting back in the cut watching this situation. I'm going, damn, what happened? But then I realized I must have said something that triggered this man, because why would he feel like now he got to establish himself in my eyes? I don't go out and try to establish myself in no one's eyes. I try to say the truth. I figure if you hear enough truth coming out of my mouth, that will establish me as somebody telling the truth. And then when you see me, you'll figure I'm hearing the truth. This man's gonna say the truth. One thing he ain't gonna do is lie to us. He might say something we don't like, but he ain't gonna lie to us, right? But this brother was laying this great foundation about how he's, this superhero, right? And I'm like, why does he feel like he had to do that? Maybe it was an internal thing. Now that I think about it, maybe he was feeling like, hey, I feel like I got to prove something to him. I got to show him that I'm better than him by laying this foundation that I did all these different things. So that maybe so. Because I didn't say nothing about me and the path that I had. And I got to talk about checkers. Checker, chess, tic-tac-toe, Connect Four. Talk about a checkered past. Ay, right? But I said nothing. Be easy, that dude. When you're arguing with a fool, onlookers can't tell the difference between who's a fool and who's a scholar. Yeah, somebody said that last night. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And you just see, when you get into a pillow fight with somebody, you just look bad. I mean, you pillow fighting as a grown man, you just look bad. And I don't want to, I know that I got not a lot of people watching me, but enough people, when they see me, they expect certain things out of me. I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but people see me come onto a live stream or talking on a video or something, or a live stream like this. They expect certain things from me. So I can't be out there, breaking down because somebody said something that I didn't like. The brother said a lot of things I didn't like, and he said some in a way I didn't like it. Now that was my decision. So what's going to be your decision when you out here in these YouTube streets and somebody types something on the screen and they say something you don't like? Are you going to go off? You going to go in on them? That's the point. That's what I'm talking about. You got to be slow to moving like that. You don't want to be in your feelings and then you type something. I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna pull up, or yeah, well, you can meet me here and there, right? You don't want to do that. That's not the optimal way to handle something, especially some of the stuff that happens that we get into beefs on YouTube about. It's mostly misunderstandings. If both people would just take a minute to just step to the side and say, you know what, I can understand your position, and the other person say, you know what, I can understand your position, then it will be better. But you know what gets in our way? Ego's getting in our way. What is the ego? The ego is what drives us to want to push our program, right? We want to push our program on everybody. So we want to tell this other person, hey, you ain't this person. You ain't right because I'm right. I'm right. And what we really want to do is we want to be God. I'm right. I follow my way. I'm the right. I'm the light. I am the way. That's what especially a lot of these guys that be involved in what do I want to say, religious, they have religious affiliations. they'll say, "Oh well, you know, I'm better than you because I got this religious affiliation. So therefore, you got to listen to me and let me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk." Brother, be smart, y'all. Be smart. Don't get caught up in these YouTube beefs, because YouTube beef is not good for business. Why it's not good for business? Why is YouTube beef not good for business? I mean, most of y'all came here for business. Most of us, I'm going to say y'all, most of us, because I'm here for business too. I don't want the business more than I want to pull people out of the rubble. If that makes sense. I'm not here to make a whole ton of money. I would like to, don't get me wrong, I would like to get paid for doing what I enjoy, which is helping people correct their lives, or helping young men guide their lives into a productive road. I would like to get paid for that. But if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I've been doing it for free this long. So, you know what I'm saying? But there's some people here, man, it's strictly business here. It's strictly business. Then they get into these YouTube beefs, and then now the YouTube beefs are very expensive. Why? Because most of the time they don't spill blood, thank God. But when when the beef eventually dies down, the people are not watching you no more. They run to somewhere else where there's some beef there. Mr. Farquhar said the people always want to see a good fight. They always want to see a good fight. So even if it's for nothing, they want to see people fighting or drama or whatever, right? We've been conditioned to be like that now. Okay? So what we got to do is unconditionize ourselves from that. Yeah, you see one of your favorite YouTubers and they in the middle of something, you're going to check it out. But I'm saying we can't be all the time like, where's the who got beef now? Who got beef now? What we gonna do? What we gonna watch beef? Y'all seen me? I try to squash these beefs, right? I'm from Los Angeles. I'm from the West Coast, and where I come from, Compton, Watts, Long Beach, Los Angeles, Pomona, the East Side, East LA, West LA, Hawthorne, all these different places, Lawndale. Man, look here. Stuff can go real bad, real quick. Real bad, real quick. Real quick. And so I was out there always trying to put these beefs, make sure they don't go no further, right? Because I know, man, dudes can get killed. Brother Pop Smoke got killed out here. Yeah, I'm at this address. You want to pull up on me? Well, goddamn it, they sure pulled up on you, and unfortunately, you ain't here now. So we don't want that to happen no more, man, because it's senseless. It's senseless, right? So I tried to step in, but I had to recognize, I backed up off of that. I had to recognize, man, I want these. I looked at it differently than other people I'm trying to squash these beefs with. Those people are not really looking at it like I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like, hey, I don't want the beef. They're looking at it as, I do want the beef. But out of respect for me, they would tell me, hey, yeah, we're going to do it this way, blah, 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 blah. And I understand and appreciate that. But I don't want you doing something out of respect for me if that's not what you want to do, right? Right? It's like, I don't want to go and spend time with somebody that's only spent time with me because they don't have the heart to tell me, I really don't want to spend time with you. No, I'd rather you tell me I don't want to spend time with you. That makes more sense to me. Or brother, that's not how I see it. I respect you, brother, but that's not how I see it. I'm gonna handle it my way. I've had some people like Daryl tell me that, hey man, just I'm gonna do it. I appreciate that. I like honesty. That's a good thing to me. What I don't like is fakeism. What's fakeism? Fakeism is what I was experiencing last night, where the brother, what he basically did with me is he used me as YouTube roadkill to wipe his feet on me to show the other guests that he was a greater person than me. Why he felt he had to do that, I don't know. like I said, maybe I said something to the brother, and the brother took it in a way where he said, you know what, let me go in and squash this dude to show him, because for whatever reason, maybe I was showing the most masculinity at the point. I don't know. And he felt like he had to come in and show some too. I don't know. But, like I said, keep your head, because I kept my head. I was really upset with the brother at first. But, the way my brain works is, maybe, wait a minute, Clarence, maybe it's you. Maybe you're taking it the wrong way. I always look to myself first. Maybe you taking this thing the wrong way. You know what I mean? When it's really subtle like that, I was like, maybe I'm taking it the wrong way. Then I looked at it again. I said, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I see the little jabs there. You know what I mean? But which is cool. You know what I'm saying? But that was a good suggestion, Friendsgiving, to email the brother. But, like I said, it wasn't that serious. I'll see him again in the streets. And if it happens again, then I may contact him. Or I may just I probably would just confront him right there. Not in a vicious way, but just in a way to say, hey, brother, maybe we got a misunderstanding here. Let's straighten this thing out right now. Right? That's all you have to say sometimes. That's all you got to say. And then it can straighten out. And, for whatever reason. But I got a feeling that we are going to run into each other again. And there's going to be some type of showdown. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year. But eventually we're going to run into each other. And so we will see each other again. And, next time I may not be as patient, depending on the circumstances, right? Depending on the circumstances. But I'm teaching y'all, man. I'm trying to tell y'all be patient with these people, man, because these people out here, they're going through things and they don't even know why they have it. Sometimes they coming at you. They come in hot, right? Remember, I got into it with the lead attorney. Lead attorney just blasted me, remember? And I did send him an email. I said, hey, brother, you get this. And I even made a video. And let me tell you something. I cooked the lead attorney like 5 pots of gumbo. If I release that video, you guys would be like, what, brother? We didn't even know you spoke like that. Right? And lead attorney, man, bless his heart, he said, go on and release it, man. Go on and release it. I said, no, man, I won't have one follower I won't have one subscriber after I release that video. Man, I cooked you so good on that one, man. I can't release it, man. See, I know I don't cook people because believe me, I know how to cook, but I don't cook people because for that reason. I know how to cook. I know how to cook somebody real good. They need to call me the chef, man, because I really could cook you. But I don't, because I know that ain't productive, man. Cooking people, it's your people, your subscribers will be like, yeah, brother Clarence, he cooked them. But that's as far as it go. That's as far as it go. I'd rather my subscribers say, yeah, brother Clarence, man, that's the truth. You told the truth. That's what I'd rather happen. If we telling the truth, that's all I want. Is I want to be remembered for telling the truth, not for because I'll cook a dude, on extra hot cooking, put hot sauce on him. I can do that, and the lead attorney really made me hot enough to do that. But the thing about it is the lead attorney at least came back and apologized and said, man, you know what? I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize I had done that. I didn't realize you took it that way. I apologize because that wasn't my intention. I really respected that. This brother, I don't think would do that, but you never know. He probably might. I don't know. I don't think he would, but he may. He may get the opportunity later. But don't you guys go out there, hey, no, don't. Because too many beefs out here, man. Too many beefs out here, especially for us smaller YouTubers. What are we beefing about? We're not even monetized. Like, we're not even, what are we beefing about? Most of us are not even monetized to even, like, have a beef with somebody. I can see you beef with somebody when somebody say something and it affects your subscriber count and that affects your money. We beefing with each other for nothing. You said this about me. I did? Yeah. And you didn't. So and now I got to beef with you. For what? If you're here for business, do your business. Why are you out here trying to worry about what another man doing or another woman's doing? Do your business. Now, if they bring you up in a conversation, like I don't get brought up in most conversations, right? Most people don't talk about me. If they do talk about me, it usually have something to do with me trying to put a beef out. That's cool, but most people don't, talk about me. That was last night was the first time I had somebody actually kind of talk about me in a sort of a negative way. That was the first time that happened to me. And so I was like, oh, okay. But usually when my name is brought up, it's usually in a good way because people see what I'm actually trying to do, what I'm actually about. But at the same time, I understand because, because I have to discuss topics that are, a little more uglier than the topics they discuss. So therefore, I'm not in the kumbaya. I'm not in the kumbaya circle, right? I fall out. So a lot of times they don't even talk about me. I go to their page. I'll do a drive-by like. I won't even get in the comment section most of the time because unless they've already acknowledged me. But if I go into their page, I'll just give them a like. I'm not gonna say no names because they would never even know that I went to their page and liked them just because, I see they're trying to get on, right? But I give them a like, a drive-by like, whatever, right? But I don't want my name brought up in a derogatory. Well, nobody does, of course, want their name brought up in a derogatory manner. But that was the first time that happened last night. So I was prepared. I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for that. Anyway, what do y'all think? Should I put the link out? Let me put the link out, man. Somebody want to talk? Let me put the link out. I'll hang in there for a few more minutes, man. We can talk about it. Anybody wants to come up and cam up. But yeah, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Should I have confronted the guy? Should I have stepped in there and said, "Hey, person, what you doing? What you talking about? How you going, should I have done that? Even though that person had just had a family tragedy within the last, like I say, month? Or did I do the right thing? Friendsgiving, you already told me I did the right thing. Brother, be easy. But we got other people here. Did I do the right thing? I could have. I mean, I probably would have been right either way I went. But I looked at the total situation and I didn't want to offend the host that was so gracious to let me on. I didn't want to offend her. And so I let it go. Y'all, what y'all think? What let me talk about something else because I definitely want to talk about this because this is a progressing situation. Now that I talked about turning the other YouTube cheek, and y'all got that right. Let's talk about being in relationships that are not good for you. Can I talk about that? Being in relationships that are not unhealthy relationships. And I keep going back to Will and Jada Pinkett. That is an unhealthy relationship for Will Smith. But why is he staying in that unhealthy situation? And then you got Kanye West, who wants to be in an unhealthy relationship with his wife, who is actually in a physical relationship with a whole nother man. I know it sounds crazy, but he left. He left. His wife is now moving on with her life. And Kanye West, is trying to come back into her life because he wants his family back. Are these people making the right decisions? Are they making the right decision? Are they going in the right direction. Let me talk about this for a few minutes, and then these people are not making the right decision, in my opinion. Let's take Will Smith. Will Smith should absolutely let go of what's her name, Jada Pinkett. He should let her go, and he should give her the space that she could be able to go out there and she could go out on the open market and see what her value is on the open market. Now, of course, older women like that are always going to be able to pull young guys. They're always going to be able to pull young guys. What? Why, Brother Clarence? Why? Because young guys, older women are the training wheels for young guys. That's where they learn how to do a lot of different things. They get their sex game up. They get their talking game up. They get their kissing game up. They get their foreplay game up. Older woman will get their game together, and then when she finally releases him back on the street, he'll be a better man for it, or at least be better. I got my man. I got my man in the house. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I got Brother Be Easy. Brother Be Easy, what's happening with you, man? You muted, brother.
What's up with my guy though?
What's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while, man. What's going on with you?
Man, just living life.
Man, good, man.
Working
Good,
hard, man,
good.
just working hard, grinding like you. I still be in the YouTube streets, I still try to come by like your posts because you can still support even if
Yeah,
unable to come up, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I try to I'm gonna start dropping a little bit more comments. So, for the algorithm, even a fist or 100 or something, you know what I'm saying?
I
I mean,
appreciate you, man.
all of it helps, you know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much, brother. Well,
yeah,
what
I'm
you
gonna have to get your email too, so we could like plan like because I be having some certain topics, that I want to stream, but I need sensible, and logical adults, not, and this is the perfect stream that you're doing because some males, because man is not a gender, right?
Okay.
Male and female are the genders. Being a
Okay.
man
Good
is a
point.
title,
Ah,
right?
okay. Good
So
point.
you need to do something to actually uphold that title, to actually be solidified in that title. Otherwise, you're just a male, with
Right.
probably a boyish mindset. Not everybody that's and then you see with all of this they trying to change of what a gender even is, you know what I'm saying? But biologically there's male and female. So
Right.
being a man, that's not a given. Just because you're a male does it's not automatic that you are a man. You know what I'm saying? So
Agreed.
we need to start understanding that a little bit more.
Agreed. Agreed. Man, what you think about what I was saying about turn the other cheek, brother? Have you ever been in that situation where you've been on a live stream and people have been coming for you, man, and you had to make a decision? Am I going to confront this or am I going to turn the other cheek? Have you ever been in that situation?
Yeah, I actually have been in that situation. Usually when it's always kind of when it's matters of race, religion, politics, the kind of messy stuff
Right.
that people need to talk about, but nobody wants to talk about. And then when
Yeah.
you do talk about, even somebody that you've known for years,
Yeah.
they kind of switch, right? Like people could
Right.
have a perception of what Bro Clarence is, and then if they find out you a Democrat or a libertarian, are they gonna
Right.
keep that same energy? You know what I'm saying? I'm independent because I can go all down the rabbit hole of the politics, but in the specific stream was everything was all cool. And then, you know, it was some non-melanated people, I'll just say that. And then
Oh,
anytime, you be seeing eye to eye and stuff, right? And then,
right.
kind of like your stream when you talk about the victim Olympics and stuff. When those type of topics come up,
Right.
victim Olympics, reparations, and all this stuff, then it's kind of like pump the brakes,
Right.
and then they start trying to come for you. It's like you expecting for a handout, right? Like I'm
Right.
not out in the streets protesting for reparations, but y'all don't even want to have the argument. Y'all don't
Right.
even, but not even necessarily the argument. You don't want to even acknowledge. And then when I go down the okay, so what about if y'all don't believe in reparations or whatever? What did y'all not believe in the Jews getting it? Did y'all not believe in the
Right.
Japanese getting it? And then it's just like, yeah, well, they
Crickets.
shouldn't have got. Yeah, yeah, it's crickets. This is where I get them at. They say, oh, well, they shouldn't have gotten it either. Well, you know what happens? What happens if you overpay the IRS? I mean, the IRS overpays you.
Yeah.
They saying, hey, you need to run that
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
So
Right.
hold on one hand, you saying, oh, we don't agree with, no one should have got reparations. Okay, that's cool. But some people already got it. But you saying that they shouldn't have to give nothing back. And then we should just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was one of those where I could have pushed it further, right? I could have pushed even more points further, stats and empirical data because I was on someone else's stream. And like I said, I didn't even want to make the stream about that. Just like I'm not
Right.
trying to make this stream about that. I'm just showing you an example of what I dealt with because nobody wants to have that conversation. Instead of having it, I get painted as like I'm just a victim waiting for a handout of reparations.
Right.
But it's like we're
Right.
just trying to have the discussion. And then,
Right.
Brother Clarence, even slave owners got reparations, right?
Right.
So the slave owners got reparations, but you're saying the actual slave shouldn't get it. And then when you say, oh, the slave owner shouldn't have got it, you also saying that they shouldn't have to pay nothing back. But you just said they shouldn't have got it. So they get to live off of this. Meanwhile, they're wagging your finger and telling you, don't ask for nothing. You don't deserve nothing. So
Right.
when you start having these conversations with other non-melanated people and some melanated people, because sometimes they feel like they need
Yeah.
to cape. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, they don't need you to cape for them. They already got a whole system and infrastructure where they gonna defend themselves, and really it's just really having the healthy discussion. But it's once it's one-sided and tribalistic, you never do. So that's the kind of stuff that I got attacked for, to bring it all back.
Right.
But I had to think, like, really, how far do I want to go with this, right? Because I
Right.
didn't want to make the
Right.
stream about that, but I
Right.
couldn't just let the misinformation and contradictions go, right?
Right.
And then they getting heated at me, but it's like you said earlier, you getting mad at the truth. I'm dropping truth bombs on you, and you
Right.
have nothing to combat that. So then
Yes.
that's why they start dropping insult bombs, right? My
Yes.
bomb, the truth
Yes.
is not an insult, right? You shouldn't be
Yeah.
offended by the truth. And if you are offended by the truth, that says something about you. What
Yeah.
about the truth is so offensive to you? Are you that nefarious? Are you that, is the truth antithetical to your beliefs? Like, you got to
Right.
ask yourself that, because there's a difference between opinion and then you dropping actual truth, like statistical data that you
Right.
can look up. Now, when you trying to combat that with insults, you know what I'm saying? Like that's disingenuous at best.
Yeah, you're right, man, and it's tough because you got to make that decision on the spot, man. You're like, man, I don't want to offend the host, and I don't want to, take the thing down a wormhole, but that was some bad information. Should I correct it, or should I do that? Yeah, it's a lot. You got to decide right there on the
Yeah,
on
it's
the
I was gonna
spot.
say it's in real time that you really gotta, and
Exactly.
and
There you
and then especially like you said, it's not that you're trying to one up, you're also trying to teach too. Like, there's other people where if you just let that go, then that's
go.
what they think how it is, and
Yeah,
they've already been
exactly.
indoctrinated
Exactly.
enough. When is someone
Exactly.
going to give them a different narrative, a different message from the echo chamber that they've been in? I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I like for people to challenge me. It doesn't necessarily going to mean that they're right, and it don't mean that
Right.
I'm right all the time.
Right.
Especially when we give in our opinions. I don't really get offended by someone else's opinion as long as it's clearly stated that that's their
Right.
opinion. But when
Right.
I counter your opinion with actual facts, there's nothing to be offended by. We should all be able to take correction. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you type online, I mean, not everybody is the greatest speller. Yo, computer gonna show it red, like, hey, you spelled this word wrong. Are you mad at the computer for correcting you? No, you just like, oh, thanks. I didn't know that I spelled it wrong. Pop, pop, you double click it, it spells it right. Why is that so hard in life? Right? Because it's ego. You
Yeah,
know, come on, bro. I'm not
yeah,
above reproach. I don't know
yeah,
everything. There's no
yeah.
possible way you can know everything. There's new
Right.
information being created, conveyed, and disseminated every day. So there's no way that we can learn everything, bro. You could learn
Right.
from a baby. So when people feel that you're correcting them for some reason, it's like, oh, Clarence think he know it all. Like, no, but I
Right.
do know this specific fact that I told you. This
Right. Right.
specific fact that I told you, I
Yeah.
know this. That's why I'm telling you. But then it gets into your character. You know, like, oh, your checker pass. I got a checker pass too. But
Yeah.
2 + 2 is 4. It doesn't matter how checkered my past is. When I say that 2 + 2 is 4, oh man, you got a checkered pass. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's 2 + 2 still 4?
Yeah. See, that's the thing. So, so what happened? If you familiar, those of us that's familiar with the Bible, so the man they called Jesus, he was going through and he was teaching lessons, and so he was teaching mathematical exact lessons, but the people they couldn't go against the math. So what they did was they attacked his character. When the people can't attack the truth, because there's nothing they could say about the truth he was teaching, so they went and attack his. So they do that same thing to us, right? So that's what happened with me yesterday. When the truth was he had it twisted. Now he's attacking me and my page, right? In that situation, brother, how would you handle yourself in that situation? What do you say about that? You're a younger brother, good looking dude. I used to be good looking like you, Be Easy, back in the day. What would
Man,
you
you
do,
still
man?
are, because age is a
I
privilege
appreciate you for
denied
that,
to
brother.
most. So
Appreciate you for that, man. Thank you.
most people don't even make it this long. I mean, this dude's prettier than me that ain't even here right now.
Yeah, it's true.
So where did
True indeed.
where
True.
did it really get him? But in your situation, I think it's a bunch of nuance in the discussion and so many variables that, I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna just speak on it on a general surface level.
Okay.
I would say that depending on your level, you know what I'm saying, we gauge it by levels of severity, like how much did I feel disrespected by him or offended? You know, was it a level 2 or a level 10? We don't always need to go to the nuclear option, and I think
Right.
sometimes that's what we do too much. Just because we
Right.
have a nuclear weapon, like, oh, he pissed me off, I'm finna go hit the nuke. Like, bro,
Right.
you had other
Right.
arrows in your quiver, you had other
Right.
weaponry, and
Right.
your number one weapon is right here. If
Yeah.
that's not your number one weapon, then you're have a, a moral and intellectual deficiency as a person that you need to address. And that's not even a shot at anyone. Like, if your mind is not your greatest weapon, how was a nuclear weapon created with someone's mind, right? So you can't
Right.
act like you need a sensible mind to actually operate it, right? You need someone to flip the switch and then hit the button. So you need a mind to do that. People need to grasp and understand that their mind is their greatest weapon and asset,
Right.
but it also could be a liability depending
Right.
on the mindset that you had, right?
Right.
The weapon could save someone, right? It could save a village, it could save a
Right.
country, but it also could obliterate a
Yeah.
village and a country. It depends on how it's used. That is still the same weapon, right? The
Yeah.
same weapon could be used to save someone, and the same weapon could be used to slay someone. You know
Yes.
what I'm trying to say? So it's all about the energy. And on that specific instance, I think turning the cheek was the best option because it's not like they was on your platform. See,
Right.
it's a difference when we had somebody else barbecue that you was invited to and you
Right.
disrespect me there, right? Like, it's like, dude, bro, I would slap you, but out of respect for somebody,
Right. Right.
hey, I'm gonna just see you when I see you, and it might
Right.
not even be this energy, but I'm gonna contain my anger or resentment at that moment. Now, if you in at my barbecue in front of
Right.
my family members that I invited, then it's like, now you've crossed now that's where the nuclear option may have to get
Right.
exhausted, because now, not only if you don't do something, you may have your kids there You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You may have your family and
Yeah.
they're like, hold on, this is not the
Yeah.
Clarence I know. Like your respect, your dignity, your masculinity is on the line. And I'm not promoting or advocating for any type of violence, but anytime you're dealing with another man, an actual man, and even just a male, you know there's always a low to high level threat of violence. That's just
Right.
how it is, especially
Right.
us. How many times have niggas you walk by and people like, man, what you looking at? Like, bro,
Right.
if you say the wrong thing, you don't know if he got a knife or a blade. And just because how you
Right.
look, you are prone to a low or a high level threat of violence. So what do you think you're going to be subject to if you're in my, my kingdom, my
Yeah.
place, so that's what I was trying to say. It's a bit nuanced. I think you handled it appropriately because you were in someone else's platform.
Yeah.
And and then it also comes to a thing. See, I've from the streets, I've been in the streets, so I don't really make threats lightly. If I say something, bro,
Right.
it's actually gonna happen. But what I
Right.
found in the YouTube streets, because people could just turn the cam off like so. They
Right.
could just turn into an avatar. Man, F you, Clarence. You ain't nothing, man. I'll pull up on you. Where you at, man? So you over
Right.
here arguing with an avatar you know
Right.
what I'm trying to say? You don't know who you truly arguing with. And then there's really no kind of repercussions, right? Are you really going okay, meet me in Atlanta, right? They always want you to meet them in a place that you know what I'm saying, where they have the advantage, right?
Right.
So it's like you gonna what meet them on their home turf? Y'all not gonna meet up at no neutral location like the old in Troy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all meet in a field. Clarence team over there, his team over there.
Right.
Y'all meet. That's not gonna happen. So why are we talking like it is? And if you clout chasing and click chasing, what I like to say, just say that
Um,
because the beefs are profitable for some, right?
yeah.
Just type in beef and you'll see all sorts of beef. That's lead attorney been engaged in, fresh and
Right.
fit, Kevin Samuel, all of
Right.
those beefs. I've been preach. Go look at Abba and Preach any of their beef videos. They're either at a million or over a million. I'm not saying that's the reason why they're doing them, but they are profitable. But for the smaller YouTubers to do it, it's just like if it's not really beef, which is not, right? It's
No.
just some contentious. So why are you acting like it's that? Because see, I've seen people where it's not true beef, but they say different stuff. See, you can be in Ohio, but you say if you say the certain thing, like, it may not be right, but some people like myself or maybe others, bro, I'll pull up to Ohio, bro, and then like we can meet up and we could have a discussion as men, or we can, we could arrange stuff, but people they don't really
Right.
want to do that. So they, you know what I'm saying?
No.
We can have a arranged fair boxing match. We can arrange and have and get messy in the streets, but who really wants to do that? So why are we acting like we do by carrying out this foolish beef? Like people really need to be stopping beef because the only beef I know ends up with people getting dead and in jail.
Yeah.
So that's why people need to stop calling this beef. You could say that it's conflict, right? Or a controversy. That's more appropriate because when you say beef, and you start bringing up people's kids and families and
Oh
disrespecting
man. Yeah,
people
man.
as a man, but even disrespecting someone as a man, I'll take the family and or you're disrespecting people as a man. Not everybody. There's a difference between the YouTube streets and the actual streets, right? Some of the
Yeah.
stuff that people say on YouTube, you wouldn't say that to my face, like you wouldn't.
Right.
So why are you being empowered behind the internet? Let's just stop it, like, right? Like I don't need to be beefing with you. You don't need to be arguing with other men, especially that's not
Right.
be paying your bill. I mean, and by argument, I don't mean like arguing like we're having a debate and you're arguing who's better out of Kobe and LeBron. I mean, having an all-out argument like "F
Right.
you, Clarence, you ain't nothing,
Right.
man," and I'm bringing up your checker pass, and it's like now that's arguing and that's bickering. But where are we really going? We just throwing insults, and that probably wasn't what the stream was about. Right?
Right.
The
Right.
stream was a specific topic that turned into a roast about each other. And like you
Right.
said earlier, now we got to continue roasting each other to keep up the act, to
Yeah.
keep up
So
the
say,
love and hip hop act. We got to continue to roast each other. And then when we stop, it's like, oh, Clarence ain't got no drama anymore. He's
yeah.
boring. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And that's the problem that a lot of these YouTubers. That's why I used to in the beginning send the mothership so many letters, really specifically to Anton. I would send them letters saying, email saying, "Hey, brother, if you keep this up, this thing's gonna fall apart." And sure enough, Courtney's out of there, Tawana's out of there, B Nix is out of there. I mean, all these people have left the mothership
Damn.
because
Hey, I just peeped that. Is Amira out of there? I
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
her.
her in a while. I haven't seen
I
her in a
haven't
while.
seen her, or I haven't seen her in a while. Yeah.
She had her own page anyway, so she had her
Oh
own.
yeah, she did have her own page.
Yeah,
I
she had
did.
her
Then
own
I
page.
seen
She was doing her own thing anyway.
the
But
Lauren. I think her
then they
name was
brought on that.
Lauren.
Then they brought Lauren on. I haven't seen her on there. Then they brought
Her and
yeah,
Courtney. I think they went and did they got their own pages now.
yeah. Courtney has her own page. But then they had the sister on there, Crimson Cure. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but
Oh yeah, Crimson Cure is dope. I
yeah.
like her.
So they had her on there one time, brother, and she haven't been back since. I mean, they was really out of pocket with her on there, man. You know, I was like,
Oh,
man,
see, I didn't get to see her on there. I follow her content, so she makes good content. But I
yeah.
remember she they were. I heard they were kind of clashing with her on there.
Oh man, bro, it was they disrespected the sister so bad, man. They disrespected
Wow,
her
I
so
see. I
bad.
didn't know that.
Yeah, not directly, but indirectly because how the way they were speaking around her, like she's the type of sister, in my opinion. If she had known that was going to be that environment when she got there, she wouldn't have never signed up for that, man. But what happened was, I'm gonna tell you a specific instance I'm talking about. So
Okay.
she was on there, and Kay was going in on Chicago Rilla. And so Chicago Rilla got mad at the way Kay was being very disrespectful to Rilla. And so Rilla finally got tired of it. And so he was trying to handle it nicely. And then Anton said, "Hey, Kay, leave him alone," you know. And so that sparked Rilla. Rilla was like, "Don't you effing ever do that to me, try to save me like I'm a damsel in distress from some effing woman. Don't ever do that." And he went on for about 5 minutes, right? So Crimson Fear is like sitting there like, oh my God, I didn't even know this was a situation like this. And, you know, like Rilla didn't even realize I got a guest here. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times they don't realize they got guests there. And these people ain't never going to come back because they feel disrespected by the language or the behavior. And so I haven't seen her back on there. So, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that I tried to tell them, hey, man, people ain't going to want to get off work. Like I was telling them, people ain't going to want to get off work and hear you doing that to, you know, you arguing back and forth. You just was on the job arguing with people. Now I don't want to get off of work and listen to you on the way home arguing back and forth with other people. I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? But he's, you know what he told me? Hey, man, our numbers are the best they ever been. I was like, oh, okay, well, what can I say, right? But see, now they got a lot of movement around. Now they got to do all these. Now they got a sports show. They got all these other things they got to do now because the shows is just not, you know, interesting enough to the people. In my opinion. So you know, that's like when I tried to tell them, but they just kept on doing it anyway. And now they released so much good talent, but it's good for us. They did the same thing to King. They tried to step on King. And King got his own thing, and now that's blossoming into something else. Do you think?
What king are you referring to?
The brother King with Conversations. Yeah, if you ever looked at that channel, King with Conversation, he was another brother.
I haven't seen that one.
Okay, his brother named King. I think it's Hamaraku, and that's his last name. And anyway, good brother. But he was on the mothership as well, and so he kept getting into it with Anton. So finally, they just blocked him. They wouldn't let him come back on the show. He was on the show for like 2 weeks straight. They just blocked him, man. They wouldn't let him come back on there. So he started his own channel. He started his own page. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Check it out. Be easy, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're gonna.
I mean, because I usually like stop by and watch them from time to time,
Yeah.
but some of those shows is like I can't do the live stream. Sometimes I'll just have if someone does a review, or
Oh,
sometimes I'll
okay.
just go and click through it, because sometimes they have some of the same people on there that doesn't necessarily provide any type of enlightenment or entertainment value for me. Sometimes
Yeah.
they do have some guests that drop fire, but those are not necessarily always the clip. I've seen some guests come on there, just some regular dudes and not even content creators, and say some of the like pretty profound stuff, but I never
Right.
seen them like make a clip out of it. But if you look at the and it's their platform, so I'm not saying what they should or shouldn't do. I'm just speaking
Right.
from what I observed. But when you look at their content, that's why their numbers do get up, because like I said, people prefer entertainment over enlightenment. And
Yeah.
what people consider entertainment is the catty back and forth. And when I say catty, that's typically in reference to women, but like, don't a lot of men in these YouTube streets be catty back and forth? I'm like, you can't
A lot
really
of them
tell the
do,
difference.
man. A lot
So
of them do.
that's why I can't understand. Like, are y'all actually catty like this, or are y'all doing it because it's profitable? Because it is you are gonna get clicks, right? Just go to any of their videos, you're gonna see people talking about, okay, it's so masculine, and oh,
Right.
Anton is either truth or he's not, or Rilla is beta. You know what I'm saying? Like, people
Right.
subscribe to just kind of either be intrigued by it or insult. But I see that there is like very there is some knowledge that you will get from there, but there is more of the fluff than anything. My bad, I was getting an alarm. It's more of that kind of that fluff, where it's just arguing back and forth, because it will be somebody making a great ass point and Kay will just stop them to interject, and it just
Yeah.
derails the whole conversation.
Right.
Sometimes it's
Right.
cool, sometimes it's funny, but it's like, damn, the dude was cooking.
Let me
You
let me
know
let's
what I'm
talk about that. Let's talk about that, brother. So, because you're right, Kay and Anton especially will do that. If somebody gets really cooking and they cooking good, if they get on a roll, what Kay and Anton will do is they will interrupt them continuously. They will never let that person get on a roll where they can cook, right? My question to you, brother, being a young brother you are, what would you do in that situation, man? What do you think is the best thing, the way to handle that if you're the person trying to cook and they keep interrupting you?
And see, man, this where all the nuance comes in too, because it is their platform. And I seen on one other stream where the dude was trying to like cook, like, hey Kay, I ain't gonna let you do this. I don't like you. And then Kay was like, oh, why didn't y'all come to my defense? I'm part of the network. You know what I'm saying? So then I seen from there, so it's like, because she is a regular reoccurring panelist on there, if you do try to cook them a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying? Like, someone feels that they need to have to step in and save the day, right?
Right,
Someone on the panel. I'm not going to say, it could be Riller one day. It could be JR. It could be Anton, right? You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, someone feels the need to, so you're already at a disadvantage, right? Like, let's say you are coming to talk to Anton or Kayla or Kay. It's not just a one-on-one like we have it now. It's you kind of up against it, right? When I seen someone bring smoke for Kayla, and she couldn't even come back with any type of truth, and then Kayla jumped in, and I was like, I mean,
right,
Kay jumped in. It's like, bro, we still waiting for Kayla to respond, and then now Kay jumped in, and now it went down two rabbit holes. So I was thinking, like, hold on, what was the original point? Like,
right. They will
when the
convolute
original,
the situation very high,
yeah,
make it very
and then
convoluted.
it's like she almost won, right? Because she won, because then she'll try to hit you with a gotcha question at the end. And it's just like,
Right,
well, you just said, it's like, bro, I wasn't even talking about that. And then sometimes she'll generalize things. But then when you generalize it, it's like, it's just like if I speak about the black community or something, like, right? It's like they always want you to add the qualifier, like some or a few or several, like
right,
several black people do this, or some
right,
black. I was like, bro, of course we're not a monolith. I'm not talking about everyone. You know what I'm saying? So, but or when you hear black men ain't ish, do you hear some black men
No,
ain't ish? It's just
no.
a blanket
Right,
across. That's what I'm trying to say. Some
right.
generalizations they're cool with, but then when it comes to certain things about women or even sometimes the black community, she'll try to step in. Don't generalize us. It's like he was cooking and he was going somewhere. Now I have to defend generalizations when that wasn't even the original
Right,
point I was
right,
making.
right. And
And
then
they
well,
are
and then on
good at
top of
doing
that,
that.
man, on top of that, excuse me, brother B, I'm gonna let you finish, but on
Oh
top
no,
of that,
I was finished, bro.
okay, so on top of that, the person that's cooking, right? They got to go all the way back to the beginning and start all over again and get to the point, right? To context what they're saying, right? They can't just start where they're at. They have to start all over to context it. So it just, and that person has to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. It's a strategy they use. They won't let anybody get anywhere. It's like before I got a YouTube channel, I would go to other people's chats, and I would make different comments, and I would context it, and the person would, when they see you, uh, they will not let a logical progression happen where everything is going to come together, right? They'll stop you, right, and then just start making false fallacy arguments to try to stop you. And so, like what happened yesterday. So that's called a straw man argument, right? So what happened was qualified as a straw man argument. What a straw man is, let's say I'm talking to you, and I know you know this be easy. I'm saying this for the people that's watching. Well, I'm talking to you, and I give you I present a point of view that's opposite of yours. Instead of addressing the opinion that I gave you, you create another opinion and you address that as if I presented that and I didn't present that. So you created it because you couldn't stop the opinion that I actually gave. You created another opinion so that you could defend that. That's a straw man argument. So that's what the brother did last night to me. Now that's what they do on the mothership. They create these straw man arguments. So now they give you a whole new argument to deal with. You trying to defend the situation that you're actually talking about. Then they say, wait, so now you got to come back and say, oh no, I didn't say that. And they say, well, they go, well, is this true or not true? Now you got to deal with that, and they ain't gonna let you get back to the actual argument or the truth that you was telling. And that's something that we have to deal. We got to learn how to deal with that. So I would do, like, for example, they had a brother on there. This was actually kind of funny. They had a brother on there on the King Talk. They do this thing called with King Talk. You familiar with that, Beezy?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so they do this thing called King Talk, I think, on Thursday nights or whatever. So anyway, there was a brother on there, and what the brother said was, Anton said that single mothers lose value in the dating market. He said single moms lose value in the dating market, and that was just an honest statement. I mean, this brother got so heated, and the brother said, how can you say that? And they was like, hey, it's just the truth, man. The average guy is going to want a woman with no children first. Not to say that they won't get chosen at all, but just he's going to look for a woman with no children first. That's what the average guy's going to do. That's basically what he was saying. So this brother, man, he was like, what? You going to say that? I'm out. I can't be on a panel where guys are talking like that about single moms. I'm out. Boom. And they was like, damn. You know what I mean? He just got all upset over that situation. But my point is about that situation is he got upset. He just left. He just left. And that's an option we got. Especially when you're on somebody else's platform. When you're on your platform, it's not so easy to leave. But you're on somebody else's platform, that is an option. What do you think about that, brother?
Yeah, I agree. I believe that's the best option because and I don't want to mess her name up, but
Sister
I'm
Keisha.
gonna just call her Kate. What is it?
Sister
Keisha?
Keisha.
Okay,
Yes.
Keisha. All right. Shout out to Keisha. I was just gonna say KJ, because I didn't want to butcher her name, but yeah, shout out to Keisha. But
Yeah, shout out to Keisha.
that's the best option is to remove yourself from that situation because for one, it's not your platform. And I would say the platform is just like someone else's house, right? You over at
Right.
the barbecue, Bro, Clarence is, making me feel uncomfortable. Why am I gonna stay here? Because now I'm gonna have to what, cuss Clarence out, or
Right.
what, complain to
Ready
Clarence,
thing.
a family member. So the best way is to just remove myself from the situation. And you don't gotta even do it with hostility. Just do it respectfully. Like, people
Yeah.
talk to themselves all the time and yell at themselves all the time, right? How many times you in a car and people like, man, get the F over, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you could just go out there like, all right, Clarence, I'm out. And then say, man, F Clarence, he was tripping. Like, you could actually do that stuff on the way home. You don't really got to do, you know what I'm saying? The number four law of power, say less than necessary. So it's the same
Right.
thing on the platform, right? Because it may have been that day that he may get to go back in that platform where he has more time to speak, or he may just don't ever need to come to the platform. But he don't need to go and if you already leaving the house, you don't need to kick the vase over on your way out. You know what I'm saying? Just leave. So but when it's hard to deal with, though, to your original one, because I got so many thoughts about this. Also, the straw man argument, I know you know this, is also called a red herring. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes.
Typically, hold on, I was getting a message.
Hey,
Typically,
brother.
used to distract from the
Right.
original question or important facts of the question. So now
Right.
you end up defending yourself on multiple fronts. And in that one,
Right.
they're in a place of control, because they're asking you the questions that they want to ask, that they already know answers to, that they have data on.
Right.
And it's something
Right.
that you weren't one not even talk about. Like, I never said I knew all of this. I was talking about this point. Now you
Yeah.
bringing me down a rabbit hole that you created, right? To
Yes.
what? To try to exert some intellectual dominance over me when I wasn't
Yes.
even trying to dominate you. I was trying to have
Yes.
dialogue. But that seems what
Yes.
it is. It's like those gotcha moments, right? It's trying
Yeah.
to intellectually dominate you. It's like, what are you trying to prove? That you're smarter than
Yeah.
me? That you're more into? I
Yeah.
thought, what did
Yeah.
they say? Let's just have the discussion. But then you don't let me talk.
You know, and here, let me tell you the real. This is the real question, brother. Be easy. Why? Why are they doing that? It's like, brother, last night. Why are you trying to pump yourself up like you better than me, or like you're in a better position? Why are these people doing this? See, that's the bigger question. Like, what? Why are you doing this? Well, obviously, you, brother, be easy, and me. We have triggered these people, and so they feel like, hey, I gotta now show this person a certain amount of dominance over this person to show the other people that's around that he's not so big. I'm bigger than him, or whatever, right? Now,
And that's the what. But the why is always more important than the what. Why are you trying to dominate? Like,
that's
like, I just
my
came
point,
in, and then you came in guns a blazing to
right?
to prove what, and to prove to whom. And then let's just say that they did intellectually dominate you. What after that? You get bragging rights to say, yeah, man, Clarence wasn't. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a deeper rooted issue of these questions, right? Why do you have this disdain for me? You don't even know me. You do not know me to do that. And then how many times on, like you said in the mothership, how many times do Kay or something she say, when the callers they make say, look, this is what I've observed, and she says, oh, you don't know me, right? But then
Right,
they always got all of these opinions in general. I'm like, you saying these people don't know you, but you making all of these sweeping generalizations about people that you don't know, right? You're talking about celebrities that you don't. Ultimately, we don't really know any of these people we
right,
talking about. We've known what they've shown us,
right,
right? Do you truly know April Mason? No. Like, did anyone on that platform know? So how is your knowledge better than mine? It's like, you
right,
don't know her, neither do you.
right.
Right? I'm speaking on the matters just like you. So that's what I don't like too, because when people go on there, this is what I don't like too. I tell people this all the time.
What's that?
There's people with less than 10,000 followers that you'll probably get the most game from. There's people that don't
Right.
have any type of social media that you get the game from. But we get into YouTube is no different than a perpetual high school popularity contest, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, Clarence, you ain't in the running to be
Right.
homecoming king. So what you say is not valuable. But Fresh and Fit, they have hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm like, bro, they got they got their knowledge from someone that's not even as big as them. But you
Right.
don't value they took all sorts of dating classes, coaches. I've never did none of that stuff. I'm not knocking them for it, but all they did was read books and regurgitate a bunch of talking points from pickup artists and stuff who got the game from pimps, players, hustles, and pimp. But it's like you're not giving them any credit, right? But then we're like, oh, look, they have hundreds of thousand followers. They are the holy grail, right? Oh my
Right.
God. I'm like, what are you talking about? These dudes were just regular dudes, right? And
Yeah.
now that they have hundreds of thousands of followers, people think everything that they say is gospel. And I'm just like, it's dudes with
Right.
300
Right.
followers that will actually teach you something. I'm not
Right.
saying, okay, maybe you like to be entertained and see a bunch of floozies and stuff. I'm not acting like their show just has no value or it's not entertaining, but people put so much value on how many your subscriber count, and they'll discount the realness that you have to say because they're like, oh, he ain't even monetized. Yeah, but does that negate the actual facts and the substance that I just presented you?
Right.
Then you just hear crickets, right? And the thing, no, it's crazy though, because I've seen people where they really do have hundreds of thousands of followers, and now they becoming the high value person that they purport to be. But it's like, who was he before that, right? Why weren't they always living their life like that? So it's almost in the fake it to make it, right? People were
Yeah.
paying these classes, bro. They were paying, bro. Like I'm saying, I'm not knocking a hustle. I don't really have an issue with Fresh and Fit. But
Right.
I'm just saying, like, I know people around me with that's real game, bro. Like they admitted they were just geeks, bro. They pretty much was
Right.
geeks. They paid all of these classes, but now they're out. It's just like Daniel's son start teaching classes. It's like he Mr. Miyagi. It's like, but no one cares about Mr. Miyagi. No one
Right.
wants to hear what Mr. Miyagi has to say
Right.
because Mr. Miyagi don't have
Right.
Instagram and he don't have a bunch of followers. So we like Danielson is the man. It's like, are you, bro? Even bosses
Yeah,
have bosses, right?
brother. Have you ever read that book, The Five Chinese Brothers?
I've heard of that book, but I have not read it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna
Short.
have to look it. I'm gonna have to look it up. If you recommend it, bro, I'm into that. If I don't
It,
physically read it, I listen to the audio book. So when I'm driving, instead of and shout out to Friendsgiving. I love the small channels, right? We could come
good.
on here and rap, and then think about all of the money just kind of derailed from the book. But we'll get back to the book. These
Let
dudes
me
are sending them hundreds, 500s and stuff. They won't even, they barely let people come up. I'm not saying how they should run their show, but it's like, bro, you letting all these chicks come up, right? And paying
well,
all these chicks, but it's a bunch of dudes, bro. Their classes are like $900 for a class. T-
you know
Yeah,
what?
bro,
I respect the
crazy.
hustle. I
I
respect the
respect the
hustle.
hustle.
I don't agree with them. Now I'm gonna tell you, just since we brought them up, and what I say about them ain't gonna hurt, ain't gonna take a dollar out of their pocket, because I'm just an old man over here. So they ain't gonna, hurt their business. I respect their business. They have a good business over there. When I
They
say
do.
good, I mean they have a business that's making money. I will say that. Okay. Now, however, they're teaching a lot of bad things. And so that's the issue I have with Fresh and Fit is a
Well,
lot of
they're
this.
teaching a lot of contradictory things too. That's my issue.
Oh,
Like
okay.
if they and that's what I was bringing up because you know how now they're saying see, single mamas is a bad deal, and like how we said earlier, I mean, there's nothing really to refute that. But the dude Fresh, he actually was married to a single mama for like 7 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
7 years.
yeah.
So like
I mean,
you wasn't doing, you wasn't living how you were living, but he barely kind of speaks about all of the mistakes. It's just like, now, oh, I got money and I'm doing all this. It's like, bro, you wasn't always that dude, right?
yeah. Well, see, the thing about, well, let me tell you about my issue with them. They always talking about how women are just, they just 304s and all of this, right? But they sending men out to make them 304s. You know what I'm saying? They saying, hey, don't be with a 304, but they're giving a dude with all they giving them all the gas and armament to go be with a woman that's a 304 and
And
go
they
make
only have 304s on their platform. Right?
exactly, man.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
So
That's what I
how
meant about the contradictory nature.
there you go, man. It's hypocrisy, man. So that's what I don't like. And then it's a lot of young guys, right? A lot of young guys will listen to them way before they listen to me, right? Because if you listen to me, I'm gonna slow down the amount of sex you have. You listen to them, they're gonna increase the amount of premarital sex you have. And so therefore they're gonna they're gonna listen to them. I get that, I understand, because most of these guys, they ain't trying to get married at 22, 23. They're just trying to enjoy life, have sex, whatever, right? I get it. So that's why it's hard, because by the time they find out the trap, they end up with a baby that they didn't want, or with a woman they didn't want. And that's the problem. They don't teach you how to vet women, where you're going to be with a woman that's going to be good to you
Exactly.
and be reasonable. Even if you ring the bell, you're going to be she's going to be reasonable. They just say, go in and hit it. You know what I mean? And that, to me, it gets a lot of these young guys in trouble. And then they don't have a program. Okay, what do I do now that I got one of these 304s pregnant? Now what's the program? Oh, we don't have a class for that. Oh, you don't have a
Yeah,
class
no, and that's my ultimate only issue, because as much as they preaching this stuff, they still ultimately want to be married at some point, right? Like one of them
almost
was
everybody.
already married. Um, yeah, bro, they kind of alluded to those points, but their shows you won't get that. But in their behavior, like they've been like they own all of these sugar daddy sites, and they're like, oh, we're on there, we're not paying the chicks, it's just we're on there so we could say how much money we got. Because one of them was saying, oh, you don't need money to get the girl, and then they was like, where was your first date at? On a yacht.
Right.
Come on, bro. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? How is that
Right.
not contradict? There's like, that's what they're teaching. You don't need money to get a girl. I just only took her on a first date on a yacht. Like, what are
Right.
you talking? Why didn't you take her to Applebee's? Why didn't y'all go on a walk on the beach? Because you know she wouldn't have it. So you're leading with your money. How many of these young dudes have a yacht or can even rent a yacht? Because I don't think it was
Right.
there. To rent a yacht is like 1,500 per hour or something like that.
Exactly. Why would you even do that? That's
Why
stupid.
would you do that to
If you
prove that?
don't have
I
it.
mean, they did all of this type of stuff, all sorts of flashy stuff, and every now and then they'll sprinkle in like, here, check out these stocks, or here, check out this credit card. But it's like 5% of that, 95% floozies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now there is some value in exposing how they act, but like you said,
Yeah.
it's just on the surface level. It's not all like, oh, what happens when you knock these up, right? Because they telling you to
Yeah.
get these 304s that are super desirable, right? Body
Right.
banging, face everything. Okay, what happens when he knocks them up? You also is
That's my
teaching them to kind of
point.
worship them too, right?
Yeah.
You worship in them, right? You're chasing things that you pretty much worship and cherish. So you're essentially allowing them to cherish. And then this is one of their methods too. I seen they saying, look, you gotta send 100 DMs, right? And out of the 100 DMs, you probably gonna get like, I think it's like one or two hit back, but it's
Yeah.
like the more volume you get, like I understand it in
Yeah.
from a business sense, but
Yeah.
bro, as a man, how do you truly look sending hundreds of DMs to chicks that's just gonna leave you on scene and red? Like I'm sorry, like how about you cultivate your masculinity into a way that it's going to attract the right type of women. It may be only 5 women in your DMs, but it's 5 quality women versus 100 ones that don't even like you, and you're putting more value on these chicks than yourself, than your own life, bro. Is vagina worshiping and pedestalizing these chicks, where, bro, just think about, that's nuts, bro. 100 DMs, and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
and it's almost like a
Yeah.
copy and paste. Hey, babe, I think
Yeah.
you're hot. Da da da.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
see what comes
then
back, right?
you see what comes back is like
Right.
vicious.
Yeah.
I understand, like you may get 5 or 10 hits of that, but then even then, what quality are those hits, right?
Right.
It's crazy, bro.
Well, I was on a show, brother. I was on another live stream. Good brother. Shout out to Chaotic Truth. I was on his broadcast, and
Oh yeah, I seen him before. He's pretty cool. I mean, I
yeah,
was on a stream with him before.
yeah, real good brother, man, real good brother. We don't agree on everything, but definitely a good
I
brother.
definitely don't agree with him. Oh yeah, because
Yeah. But he's a good brother. You know what I mean?
he
I
really is
don't
a good
expect to
brother.
agree with everybody with everything,
Me
but I
either.
can. But when they're real good people, man, and I respect them, you know, I got to shout that out. So yeah, he's a good brother. So anyway, I was on his program, and um, and I was telling them that
Actually, I
oh
think I seen a little clip of that. I don't know which one. I didn't get to watch it all. If I'm not mistaken, was it in reference to the Rittenhouse trial?
yeah, I was on that one as well. I was on that one as
Okay,
well.
okay.
I was on a couple
I
of them.
think I
I
seen
was
a
on a couple
clip
of
of
them,
that one.
but not. But I'm making a mistake. It wasn't. I was on his live stream, but that's not this live stream. I'm trying to reference. I'm trying to reference the live stream. I was on Chef's live stream, and
Okay.
so when I was on there, I told what I said went right over to everybody's head. What I said was that we as men have been conditioned. We've been conditioned like Pavlov's dog, right? We've been conditioned to be at this high level of have this high level of personal sexual tension, so that even when you see they can put sex in a cereal commercial, they can put sex in a radio ad, they can put sex in on the internet, they can put sex everywhere
Cartoons.
in cartoons, and you're you've been we have been as men conditioned to respond and react to that sexual tension, to we all at attention, right? Now we even push that as live human beings. We'll push it to where your masculinity is in doubt if you're not at this high level of sexual tension all the time, right? Where every time a girl will by, whoa.
Hmm.
So when a person is like that,
That's a great point,
when
brother.
when a person is like that, brother, when you are more into your appetite than your discipline, then you can be misled by your appetites, right? You got an appetite for sex, you can be misled by that, right? They can 200 years ago, you couldn't sell cereal with sex. You
Hmm.
couldn't sell cars with sex. Meaning they supposing they had them back then, but you couldn't sell different normal items with sex. But now you can. Now you can. It's
You could,
acceptable.
but you would also be an outcast and a pariah, right?
But what I'm saying, it wouldn't be acceptable in the society for
Hmm.
that to be occurring, and it would be just a general accept. Like now, it's generally accepted that men are have this high sexual tension all the time, and men just want sex, all this sex, the sex all the time. That's just like the general opinion, right? But we don't understand. We've been conditioned since we've been little boys. We've been conditioned all the way up
It's also,
for
to be
sex.
honest, it's also, I think we need to recondition and reclaim what it is, because it's also a trope, right? And it's a gender trope, and it's also a stereotype, and it's been used to manipulate, and it's been used to weaponize, because when these men are having sex, who are they having it with? Typically another woman, right? So,
Right,
but there it's just made to seem like these dudes are just horn dogs, right? When you hear horn dog, that refers to a man, right? So
right,
we're just kind of absolving the women who have all sorts of very freaky sexual proclivities, but it's just always looked as like as the man, and then they're also presented it even more. So it's one thing for us to have our conditioning and be desiring it, but it's supply and demand. Who is supplying it, right? So the more it's in supply and an abundance, of course, it's the law of attraction. Of course, it's going to be demanded more, and that's what I was saying before. You would be like an outcast, a pariah. The scarlet letter. It would be like, yeah, you could
right,
do that, but look, yeah, you over there with them people that do that. This is not the norm, but now it is the norm. Who really made it the norm, right?
right.
These women need to have agreed and capitulated to this overall agenda to do it, right? If they are true feminists, right, and truly care about keeping their grace and everything like that, they should be pushing back against this stuff. But no, they promote it, right? Now, before they're saying, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're 300 pounds. Go ahead and flaunt it, right? Who is that? That's not men promoting that. You know what I'm trying to say? That
Right.
sexual liberation, or is it a bunch of dudes talking about sexual liberation, or is it women? A bunch when you hear sex workers and then they're legalizing prostitution, is it a bunch of male prostitutes? So you know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
It's a negative stereotype that we only put on the men. And I do agree. I'm in total concurrence with what you said. It's just we kind of just be letting these chicks off the hook, right? Like when you look at, I'll just use shout out to Future, but Future is one man, right? 8 baby
Mhm.
mamas, right? One irresponsible man, and I'm not gonna say he's irresponsible with his kids, so I'll just say one overzealous man, but
Right.
8 women. What is
Right.
the bigger issue? The one man or the 8 women, right? Oh, men ain't ish. All they care about is sex. So how did one man knock up all 8 of y'all, right? But everything is about Future ain't ish. How is he not ish? So the third baby mama didn't know that. The third baby mama didn't know that. She did know it, but she didn't care. Then he got the fourth. Have you seen Nick Cannon? He out there busting it up. Is that
Right.
really about Nick Cannon or is it about them? Right? But you
Right.
could because we gotta just have a balanced discussion opposed to only putting it on the men. But I do agree with the programming too. That's what I was trying to say. These dudes have been so conditioned to just worship any type of chick. It doesn't matter how she looks. And walk by. My boys do it all the time. We in the mall. Oh my God, look at her. And I was like, yeah, she was nice, but I related to cars out here. I think you in Cali too, bro.
Right.
On depending on the cities that you in, bro. I'm gonna see an old school on sixes. It's gonna be a Lamborghini over there. A bit, you know what I'm saying? You seeing beautiful creations all around you. But am I finna rubberneck and oh, damn, I crashed my car because I seen a Bentley? Are you know what I'm saying? You with your lady and you finna rubberneck like if you got a certain type of vision, you've already viewed it, right? If I've
Right.
already seen the car, I seen it nice rims, check. I don't need
Right.
to, like you twisting your neck, like you know what I'm trying to say? Like that's
Right.
overvaluing of something that's actually a depreciating asset. Like, I mean, let's just call it what it is. We can say that about ourselves too, but it's like at least we're very real and open with it, but now you're placing more value on it. If there's a Ferrari that came out in 2006, there's no way that you can convince me it has more value than the 2019 Ferrari. It's just
Right.
how it is, bro. Does it
Right.
suck? That's not my opinion. Take a poll and say, would you rather have a
Right.
2006 Ferrari or a 2019? You know what I'm saying? So that's what we try to do. We try to overvalue things. We look at that 2006 Ferrari as if it's a 2019 because you're just so happy to drive a Ferrari or stuff like that. But you don't understand how much maintenance comes with that Ferrari. How much
Man.
is gas right now? Like, and
Man.
that's just what we was talking about earlier. How some content creators they tell you, here, look how you get the Ferrari, but they don't tell you how much the tune-up gonna cost like 1,200.
Right. Right.
They don't tell you that, bro, that thing get like 7 miles to the gallon. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So they're not telling you all of this stuff, bro.
Right, brother. So what and what I was the point I was making about the conditioning is that based on that conditioning, a page like Fresh and Fit or Mr. Lucario, those guys can make a ton of money because guys have been conditioned to think that, oh man, if I'm not having all this sex, then I'm not masculine.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
true.
considered a man, right? And so, just like Fresh and Fit, they actually said this. They said, if you haven't had sex with 35 women, don't even talk to me. You can't even talk to me, right? And so, the average guy hearing something like that, what these young guys that don't know no better, hearing something like that, feel like, oh man, I bet 35 women, I haven't even had sex with two. Let me get on their program so that I can catch up. right?
Hmm.
And that's how they make all this money. And so no, they're not like me. Here I am saying, hey, discipline is better than access to all that sex. But they don't want to hear that, right? They rather hear, hey, you can have all this sex, but in the end, you're gonna feel like you're gonna find out that, like you said, I'd rather have somebody that's gonna be there with me, walk through this life, because this life is hard by yourself. You can find a good woman, you got something good, man. A good woman is worth her weight in gold. Listen to this, brother. A good woman is worth her weight in gold, but a good man is worth 10 times his weight in gold. 10 times his weight in gold. So are you saying, Brother Clarence, that a good man is
Bro,
worth
just
more
that
than
statement alone was so powerful, because that statement alone would help these young fellas. But they thinking it's the reverse. They
right,
thinking that the woman is worth 10 times in gold. So then when they get them, they're like, look, I got 10 times the gold. But
right,
really, they don't even realize like she only wanted you for your resources and what you can provide, right? So you, if you had some discernment, you would have been able to vet her and choose someone that wanted you for you. But then like it goes back to the point where you feeling manly too. It's not only with the sexual, it's also with the tricking too, right? Brother Clarence could drop some fire, but they're like, and your cash app will be going across the screen. They won't even think about hitting it. A chick
right,
a twerk, which you can see for free. Here, let me make it rain
right,
on her.
right, 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 right.
What?
True indeed.
Like
True indeed.
that and so in combination of the conditioning, that's the conditioning too, right? I gotta
Yeah,
make it rain in the strip club to feel
yeah,
like a man. But
yeah,
then you expecting her to truly love you for you. She doesn't know you. All she knows is Mr. Let It Go. You throwing hundreds, fifties, you sending cash apps.
yeah.
I just completely do not understand. Instead of leading with your Johnson and leading with your wallet, how about leading with your masculinity? And this is why I was trying to tell you, bro, man is a title. Any of that stuff, does that sound very manly to you? It sounds very adolescent, very boyish. So it's male behavior with a boyish mindset. They haven't ascended to the title of being a man just yet, but nobody is going to tell them that, because then
They
the
can't make
money
no
gonna
money
stop
off of
rolling
them.
in.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. You can't make no money off of them. That's why I was talking about when you have a person that is led by their desires and not by discipline, they can be easily misled. You can easily dig in their wallet. And, it's easy to take money off a hungry man than a man that's got his stomach full or got the discipline to fast. You ain't going to be able to get his money. But if you got a man that's starving, he hungry, ain't ate in 3 days, the man that the man that don't know how to fast gonna be like, hey, I'll pay $100 for a hamburger, right? It's easy, just like these dudes when they go out here and with these girls and they want girls, 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 girls. I understand that, man. I've been there. But the point is, where's that gonna lead? And see, that's the problem I have, is where's that gonna lead? Eventually, you gotta give them both sides of the situation. Hey,
Exactly.
but this gonna happen. You might gonna have all this sex, but your chances of having unwanted children gonna be here. And then if you sending out 100 DMs, how are you vetting women? You sitting out 100 DMs, man. You know
And then
in that
hold on,
whole month.
let's say that you get a astronomical return on that investment. Let's just say 50 of them hit you back. That's pretty impressive,
Oh, okay,
right?
that would be astronomical. Absolutely.
Exactly. But how the hell are you going to vet 50 of them, right?
Right.
How much time do you have? And then let's just say we said it's 50 fine of the fine, right? 50
Right.
Rihanna's, Beyonce's, or whoever you consider desirable.
Right.
How much do you think that's going to cost? Right? You think that they just finna, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, if
Just
if
running
you if you
around.
the type that have to send 100 DMs, you're not the type that's just gonna command, hey, just come over to my place. Hey, you're gonna have to spend some money. And if you did
Right.
that with all 50 of them,
Right.
imagine if you had put that into stocks. Imagine if you had invested that. Imagine if you had
Yes.
bought a business or something
Good
like that.
point.
So
Good
I'll
point.
see like one video about that, and then it's just nonstop of these type of videos. Like, I don't have an issue with their content if they were given both sides. They should be talking about more when they were geeks and nerds and wasn't getting chicks, right? But
Right.
instead, they're over here saying that they have their body count is in the thousands. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro. I don't even believe that, because like, for one, you're barely there. That one of them was married for like 7 years. So then see, this is what I'm saying. Nobody will do this. So I will have to ask them. So when you were married, how often were you cheating on you know what I'm saying? Because
Must have been a
clearly you
lot.
was married to exactly a lot, to the tune of over like what, 56, you know what I'm trying to say, to have
Yeah.
thousands of bodies. You need to be in the 60 to 100 range per year. So it's like, okay, cool, how did you really keep track of that, right? Because let's be honest, you once you don't care and don't have no discipline, some people probably is losing count. So they just thinking about whatever number. Oh, it was 30. How do you really know? Like, do you have a little black book where you jotted all this down? You have the list of all. Oh, and then they'll say, oh, they don't remember. So if you don't remember, how you know you know what I'm trying to say? But then also this, let's just say that they do have thousands of bodies, right?
Right.
I should value their advice over a person that's been in a successful marriage, that has, you know, that's been in a
That's what the
successful
people
marriage for
do.
years. And they're like, yeah, but he has thousands of bodies. Yeah, but this person has more money than him, has a marriage, right? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but he's living a free agent rock star lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? It's like, bro, if
Yeah.
you got enough money, you're you are a rock star. Like, I don't know, bro. People with money, they live rock star lifestyles. They just don't put it on Snapchat every day. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, that's kind of confusing. The body count is almost like the subscriber count. You can give the best game, but if you only got 400 followers, it's discounted. I can give you the life-changing advice, but if I tell you I've only slept with 3 women, then it's like, oh man, you don't get out enough. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, right? Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't say that was the only opportunities I had. I said
Right.
that's the only ones that I capitalized on. But then
Right.
all of a sudden, now I'm less than a man, right? I could bench press 300, I could do all this stuff. But if I don't have a certain body count to your liking, and then what is the number, right? Is it 20?
Right.
Is it 30? Is it 50? What is the appropriate body count for me to be considered alpha? For me to be considered a god, the man, high value, red pill? Like, what is the number? Is it 10? Is it 20? No one can answer these because nobody is asking these questions, because the people, just like the universities indoctrinate you, these YouTube streets, these content creators, and anybody else can indoctrinate you like, robot must take the red pill. Like, come on, bro. Like, did like, why, bro?
Hey.
But
Hey.
ask them the why. They why are you taking this red pill? And then it's so many other questions after that. So like, clearly, before you took the red pill, you were blue. See, this is funny too. Like, if you was in certain like gangs or in the streets, or you was a pimp, no one could just wake up and say, hey, I'm a pimp, hey, I'm a
Right.
gangster, right? Bro, you had to get initiated, whether it was jumping
Right.
in or you doing some work.
Right.
Now everyone is like, hey, I took the red pill, or hey,
Right.
I'm this. It's like, what? Like, how do you know? How do you
Right.
know that you're not still blue pill? How do you know that you're
Right.
not this pill? Like, that's why I don't even like to get into that whole shit, because
Right.
Clarence, you old school, so you know this. Bro, it was either you had it or you didn't. And I'm talking
Right.
about game. You was
Right.
either that dude or you wasn't. And that
Right.
was cool. If you wasn't, that was cool. But now
Right.
it's like, oh, bro, Clarence, you're blue pill. Like, let's just say
Right.
that you are blue pill. So what? I have no value as a man, right?
Right.
You know what I'm trying
You
to say? That's
blue
almost
pill,
like this
purple
dude's
pill, black pill, green pill.
yeah, that's what I'm
Like,
trying to.
all these pills, man. Like, damn, what's going on?
I can't keep up with him. I cannot keep up with him. And then you ask people, nobody can give you a definitive answer. Ask
Right.
somebody what red pill. Ask 5 people what red pill means, and you're gonna get 20 different answers, right?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
then they say, oh, red pill rage. Like, bro, if you over here raging over chicks, that's not no red pill. That's almost like some beta energy, right? You over here
Right.
so mad with a chick that you raging and going on these platforms to disparage chicks. I'm not talking about holding them accountable and speaking logically and rationally. But you've seen these dudes sometimes saying they red pill or blue pill or MGTOW or something. I don't have any issue with any of that stuff, but it's like, bro, if you spend your whole time complaining about chicks, bro, how is that masculine, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
How is that
Brother B,
logical?
brother, be easy. What I'm gonna do, man, brother, is I have to take a phone call, man. I have to get a phone call. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna pick
For
it
sure.
back up in maybe about 2 or 3 hours. I'm gonna pick it up, man. Hopefully you can, if you got the time, you come back by, man, and
Yeah,
finish.
hey, could you drop your email in the back chat real quick?
Oh, okay, yes, sir, for sure, man, for sure.
So just
Uh,
before you go, I mean, yeah, I got time today.
yeah, man, yeah, man. Let me drop it for you, man.
Hey, and this was super random. I ain't even know you was gonna be actively streaming today. You know, I
Brother,
just had to come up
I
and
thought I
rap
would
with
be
you.
by myself. I didn't even know I was going to be out here. I thought I would be by myself.
Hey, you
But I'm
never
glad.
alone in these YouTube streets, bro. Clarence, you got backup.
But I'm glad. I'm glad that you came on, man, because you made it worth the while, brother. And all of y'all, Friendsgiving, everybody that chimed in,
Yeah,
Keisha,
especially the chat,
everybody.
man. The chat is always interactive. So shout out to everyone in the chat and supporting bro Clarence.
Yes, thank y'all, all of y'all. Appreciate y'all. Okay, brother. So what I'm gonna do, man? I'm gonna stop the live stream now. I put my.
For sure.
You see my email?
Yeah, I got it
Okay,
in the back.
okay. Yeah,
Thank you.
man. You just drop it anytime, anytime. And if you need more information, just let me know. But right now, I'm in this live stream because I got a call from my granddaughter, man. I got to go see what's going on with that. And then
All
I
right.
will come back on, man. So look for me later on today, brother.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Peace to you, brother. Thank you.